Y'all will not believe what it is that I have to show you. From Senator John Thune going scorched earth against the Democrats to John Fetterman basically cashing in his ticket to be primaried officially away from the Democrat Party, to even Hakeem Jeffries getting called out on CNN. Plus, I got some more clips as well. We got a packed episode today, so make sure you guys stick around. At the beginning, though, I want to dive into what John Fetterman has had to say, and it's quite a lot, and you're not going to want to miss this. So, with that being said, hit that like button, and let's dive in.
So, what are you hearing back home about SNAP expiring on Saturday?
I'm saying that I will witness it firsthand. My wife, Giselle, she develops the free store in our community, and it distributes food 3 times a week. And her lines have already got longer. And now I will encounter people that have no SNAP benefits starting on Saturday, and I don't have an explanation for them. All I could say is, I'm sorry. It's an absolute failure what occurred here for the last month. And now things are really going to land. And imagine being a parent with a couple kids and how you're going to fill their refrigerator and pack their lunches and get on with their lives when the things that they've depended on now is gone because we can't even agree to just open things up. For a Democrat, we're not allowed to just open this up. I mean, then our party has bigger problems than I thought we might have already. It's like, that's not controversial. Pay everybody. And you have our workers here borrowed over $350 million to pay their own bills. Like, it's a failure. And like I said, to all of the viewers, I'm apologizing that we can't even get our shit together and just open up our government.
Schumer said this gets better politically every day for Democrats. What do you say to that?
Yeah, well, ask the hungry people on Saturday. It's like, that's the thing. Americans are not leverage. This is not some shitty game show about who's winning or whatever. It's just like we have to be better than this and just open this up. And I do, talk to any number of Republicans who they agree that we have this conversation about extending these tax credits.
Bro, that person in the background absolutely threw me off. But yeah, you heard what Senator Fetterman had to say there, and let me tell y'all something. Like I said, he is definitely cashing a ticket to be primaried by his own party. But he had more to say on CNN. Check it out.
Never going to change my party, but clearly we've lost the argument, and right now I think it's entirely appropriate to really be honest and just figure out why exactly have we effectively lost 2 out of the last 3 cycles, and a lot of the things we've really kind of really lost our connection with American voters in ways. And I think we can't just be, well, Trump is always wrong, or that we're going to set the country on fire or whatever. That's just not true either, of course. But, when I represent a state like Pennsylvania, that keeps you honest. And you always can't forget that a lot of Americans happen to disagree with you. That does not mean that they are fascists or now they want to shred the Constitution.
But when you hear some Democrats saying Trump is acting like an autocrat.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. If you actually compare him to an actual autocrat, that is not just that. Now, last night, for example, people were complaining. They were protesting about, that's the Hitler thing. You just don't ever compare anyone to Hitler and those kinds of extreme things. And now look what happened to Charlie Kirk. I mean, the man was shot. Now we have to turn the temperature down. It's like we can't compare people to these kinds of figures in history. And this is not an autocrat. This is a product of a democratic election.
So you don't think that Trump is at all shattering any of the norms of democracy in any way?
I'm saying he's definitely different, but that's what America voted for. Again, I don't agree with many of these things, but that does not make him an autocratic.
But one of the things that I hear from Democrats a lot saying a reason why voters may not like Democrats is because they don't fight hard enough. Democrats should be fighting harder. What do you say to folks who say that?
What exactly is fighting? What is fighting? You know, delay more votes, or just vote every no on everything, or saying, well, if they're doing X, well, then that means it's wrong, that kind of a thing. It's like, what exactly is fighting?
I'll give you an example. It could be shutting the government down. Like some Democrats say if this happens, it'll be Trump's fault.
That's not fighting. That's mutilating our nation. If you vote to shut our government down, you are going to harm millions of Americans. And why would you do this? Where's our leverage? It was wrong. It was wrong for the Republicans to do that. Absolutely, that's true. It was wrong for the Republicans to do that. It would just be wrong for us for those things.
Bigger picture, has your party shifted or have you shifted ideologically?
My party is acting in a way they have forgotten. They have forgotten one of the reasons why we lost in 2024. Some of the most extreme things were weaponized against that. And now some people think now we have to double down on those things, or we must become more progressive or more extreme. That's absolutely not true.
Listen. Hey, yo, John Fetterman, hey, he cooking. He's cooking. He's cooking. I agree with him. His party doubling down on the things that got him that loss is actually a terrible idea. If only his party would just listen. John Fetterman, no, actually he shouldn't be. No, he can't be. If his party would listen to him, they'd actually be a little more successful. That's for sure. I will say that. I will say that. Now, I do want to play this clip of Senator Mark Kelly, Democrat Senator Mark Kelly, being confronted on CNBC because the narrative is falling, ladies and gentlemen. They can't hold on to this much longer. Check it out.
And only one person in the Democratic Party has broken with the ranks. It's like, I don't understand it. It hasn't been working well for Democrats with Mamdani.
This is pretty simple. The government does not have to be shut down. It doesn't have to be shut down. We can
Senator,
fix this
now
here
you're just parsing,
in a matter of just a couple days. I mean, this could be easily solved
to
by
go
sitting down
cloture,
at the
to
table.
Get past 60, to get past 60, you need some Democrats to reopen the. That's what's going to have to happen, Senator. You close the government down because you want 1.5 trillion for all these different things that Schumer wants. It's obvious to everyone. Although maybe you can convince the public that it's the Republicans, but it's not. And only one.
I love how they're getting called out on their BS. Although you can try to convince the public that, it's the Republicans. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. I love it. I thought I had this other tab pulled up. Maybe did I lose it? Oh, no. My goodness. Oh, wait. There it is. There it is. I get so unorganized sometimes when I'm putting these videos together. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. It is literally just me. I don't have like a crew of people or anything like that. It is just me. All right. So when things get a little messed up, all right, I apologize. All right. I'm just going to apologize in advance because there's going to come a day where I'm going to completely actually, I already have. I'm going to completely mess up another video. Okay. It's just going to happen. And I'm just going to apologize in advance. Now, moving on, I want to play this other clip of this Democrat representative. I'm sorry, this is just absolutely hilarious, man. Y'all got to listen to this. Y'all have to listen to this. This is Democrat Representative Janelle Bynum, okay? Just check it out.
They did have a clean CR vote on September 19th in the House. Did you vote for it?
I disagree with your characterization and want to make sure that we're very clear about what Republicans have been doing. Any bill that they've put forth, they've always had some extra stuff to it. There's always been a poison pill to it. So I disagree with your characterization.
Wait for it.
What were the poison pills of the clean CR or the continuing resolution? You say it's not clean, that was voted on in the House in mid-September.
Here's what's important. I think what you're trying to do is shift the responsibility to Democrats.
They did have a clean CR.
Now you see why I was laughing? Now you see why I was laughing? Well, see, Republicans, I don't agree that it was a clean CR. They added in some type of poison pill every time they took it out for a vote. Oh, okay. C-SPAN reporter. So what was the poison pill? Well, see, you're trying to blame this on the Democrats, but really it's the Republicans. Got called completely out on her BS nonsense. She couldn't even come up with no clean answer. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh, jeez. Now, I want to play this clip from CNN with Jeffries, Timu Obama, Discount Obama, wannabe Obama with Caitlin Collins, okay? Because he absolutely gets called out a little bit here, and I'm kind of surprised because it's actually coming from Caitlin Collins and the CNN network. So check it out here.
Said that Mike Johnson's not willing to sit down and have a conversation. Y'all did have a phone conversation, I believe you said earlier today. Who
contradicting himself? Oh, Mike Johnson's not willing to sit down and have a conversation. But we did kind of sit down and have a conversation. He called me.
Johnson's not willing to sit down and have a conversation. Y'all did have a phone conversation, I believe you said earlier today. Who initiated that call? Was that you or was that Speaker Johnson?
It was a call from Mike Johnson. It was very brief, and it wasn't a substantive discussion in terms of finding a path forward.
But was he calling to talk about the government shutdown?
I mean, you could say that was in the ballpark, but, it was a private conversation that will remain private. However...
What do you mean by that? Oh, well, what was it? Was it a conversation to talk about open up the government? Well, you could say that it was in the ballpark. You see how they try to, skirt around and dance around,
Part, but, it was a private conversation that will remain private. However, nothing meaningful came out of it. Again, because Donald Trump has not given Mike Johnson permission to enter into a bipartisan negotiation. Caitlin, House Republicans have been literally on vacation for the last 5 weeks. They've canceled votes 5 consecutive weeks in a row. They are uninterested in doing anything other than jamming their partisan Republican spending bill down the throats of the American people. And
what he won't tell you also is that House Republicans can go on vacation because they already passed the continuing resolution. It's in the Senate now. I so despise Democrats, bro. See, they try to use this type of stuff because most people don't really understand, right? And I get it. I'm still kind of new to politics. I don't understand everything, right? But I do got some darn common sense. At least I would hope so, right? I assume I have some common sense, right? But this is what they do. He's not the only Democrat that has done this. There's another Democrat as well, and I think I showed you guys that clip yesterday or the day before yesterday. They'll say, well, see, House Republicans, they aren't even here. They're on vacation. But what they're failing to tell you is that they've already done their job. They've already passed the clean continuing resolution and have sent it to the Senate with John Thune, where they need 60 votes because of the filibuster, which is why it's stuck still in the Senate. It's already passed the House. Why do Republicans in the House need to be there? Y'all shut down the government. What are they going to be possibly doing? Twiddling their thumbs? What do y'all want to do? Try to booze some of them up so you could try to swing them onto your side? I don't know. I'm confused. Mike Johnson did the right thing. Hey, send everybody packing. Get on up out of here. We already did our job. Go home. We'll be back as soon as all of this is over with. I would have done the same thing. Unless there's something I'm missing about this entire equation. If I'm in Mike Johnson's shoes, right, as Speaker of the House, as Republicans, once we pass the clean CR and I see it's gotten stuck in the Senate after 2 votes, I'm sending everybody home. You Democrats are not going to have the opportunity to try to sway any Republicans onto your side. It's not happening. I'm sending them home. Go on home. We'll be back once this is all over. Simple. But Democrats are out here trying to lie because they know most people don't really pay attention to politics, or they kind of dabble in it here or there, kind of casually, right? Because people have lives, and that's understandable. We got bills to pay and all of this other stuff, right? So paying attention to politics is a whole job in and of its own, right? So most people are just going to hear, well, Republicans aren't there, so why aren't Republicans there? It's Republicans' fault. Republicans don't want to do anything. Well, Republicans already passed it in the House. You know what I mean? So I just had to call that out because I just hate when Democrats sit here and blatantly lie about stuff like that. It's just absolutely disgusting. But check it out.
As Democrats, we've made clear we will not support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people. Period. Full stop.
And I love how he said Republicans are trying to ram down the throat a spending bill, but they always scream about democracy, democracy, democracy. Although I know we live in a constitutional republic. I just want to say that for anybody that's going to comment that. I'm saying what Democrats say. They always scream democracy, democracy, democracy. Well, last time I checked, we elected Trump to run this country, not Democrats. We elected Trump. We gave the Senate majority to Republicans, and we gave the House majority to Republicans. So you would think that the people who love democracy, 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 people have to vote, you would think that those same people would actually hear that and see that and allow the people's choice, right? Republicans and Uncle Trump to make the choices for this country. But that's not the case with these Democrats. They're hypocrites. They're the ones who actually want to be in control. They're the ones who actually want to be the dictators. They're the ones who actually want to run this country with an iron fist. They're the ones, and they're proving it now. We did not elect them to run this country. They had an opportunity 4 years ago to do so. We elected a whole new team, and we did it across the board. Trump didn't just win a couple battleground states. No, he won every single one, all 7. And he won the popular vote, which a Republican hasn't done in over 2 decades. And like I said before, we gave him the House and we gave him the Senate so that he is able to pass anything and everything that he wanted to pass. And yet Democrats are still, oh no, we can't do that. We can't do that. Trump's a king. He's a dictator. No, you want to be the king. You want to be the dictator because now you're going against what we voted for. We voted for this. This is what we stood in line for to vote for. This is what we wanted. You always claim to, oh, we're the party of the people. No, you're not, because if you were, you would get out of the way and allow Trump to run this country the same way that we voted for. I'm just saying. I just had to say that. I had to say that. Y'all can let me know in the comments if you agree, and I'm gonna let you guys get out of here with this clip of John Thune going scorched earth against the Democrats. Check it out.
And we've tried to do that 13 times. And you voted no 13 times. This isn't a political game. These are real people's lives that we're talking about. And you all have just figured out 29 days in that, oh, there might be some consequences. There are people who run out of money. Yeah, we're 29 days in. And they've done their best to make sure that a lot of these programs are funded. But at some point, the government runs out of money. 13 times, people over here voted to fund SNAP. 13 times they voted to fund WIC. My aching back. Finally realized this thing has consequences. Well, you know what? What Democrats are doing here, they're making plans to keep the shutdown going.
Yeah, that is the rumor that I am hearing. Thune isn't the only person that I've heard that from. Democrats are making plans right now to continue this shutdown somehow, some kind of way. And so what Uncle Trump has done is he said, let's go with the nuclear option. It is time to press the big red button. Not literally, to send the actual nukes. Okay, I just want to make that clear before anybody's like, whoa, my goodness. Trump has said, let's go with the nuclear option. It's time to hit the proverbial button and get this thing over with. Check it out. Because of the fact that Democrats have gone stone cold crazy, the choice is clear. Initiate the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster, and make America great again. Now, by getting rid of the filibuster, Republicans can simply pass a CR with just a simple majority vote, which we do have the majority in the Senate. I believe we have 53 or 54 Republican senators. So we can easily pass the CR by getting rid of the filibuster. And Uncle Trump is saying, hey, it's time to hit the button. Time to hit the button. And I think that is an absolutely nuclear option for the Democrat Party. That is the worst case scenario for the Democrat Party. One, because now the filibuster is over, so Senate Republicans can just pass anything and everything with just a simple majority. But then also the backlash that could possibly come from this will probably be enormous. With the party hemorrhaging voters, the way that the Democrat Party is hemorrhaging voters, they can't afford to lose even more people. And I've talked about the numbers before. They've lost like 1.2 or 1.3 million voters already this year. That was up to like last month. We didn't even count this month. That's just this year. Registered voters, they've lost like 1.3 million voters. Okay? 1.3 million. Which is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. After an election that they lost, they've continued to lose even more people, which is just crazy. Crazy. And this would probably initiate another mass exodus from the Democrat Party. I'm not saying all the folks will come over to the Republican Party, but what I am saying is that they will be leaving the Democrat Party, though. If they see Republicans are doing anything and everything they possibly can to make sure that this government is open, regardless of what the Democrat Party is doing, oh yeah, you can bet your bottom dollar that even more people are going to leave the Democrat Party. And listen, I'm backing Uncle Trump on this one. I'm backing him. Would I like to see this continue a little bit longer so that we can, legally fire some government employees? Yeah, I would. And that would take 60 days. I believe we're at 30 or 31 right now. So we'd have a whole nother month of this, which honestly, I think that's way too long. Okay. I don't think we would make it quite that long. Right. Plus, I don't know what the Democrats would have planned within that. I don't trust them, okay? I don't trust them. They're snakes. I keep the grass cut low so I can see them, but eventually the grass starts to grow back. You know what I mean? So while I can see them, I'd rather go with the nuclear option now and just absolutely decimate their voter registration base. Have voters leaving in mass once again. But what do y'all think? Get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Again, thank you guys for all of the continued love and support, tuning into every video, liking, commenting. I greatly appreciate all of you guys, man. Thank you so much. Peace and love. I'm out.